My name's host Eric, and I'm here today. I'm waiting for Cartoons and Poop today. I feel like I've got a lot of poop in my butt. It needs to come out. Could say I'm feeling something that rhymes with constipated. But I'm hopeful that by including the word poo in the title, YouTube elects not to put me on the shorts feed today. Yesterday's experience with the shorts feed made me think, oh, that's not really a good thing. Since yesterday's extremely wholesome title managed to earn me a bunch of random scrubs saying dumbass shit, I thought, hey, maybe if I have a less wholesome title, not that poo's incredibly unwholesome, but hi Carlos, Paeva, yo sup indeed. The good news is I don't think I'm gonna have to wait a super long time to make this poop. It feels like at least a considerable portion of the poop in my butt is really ready to come out. And indeed, that was a nice poop right there. My cat has 5 toes on his front feet. That's a sizable poop. And agreeably a one-piecer. Well, I could have pooed before I even started this stream and let the poo part out of it. Boy, I feel a lot better already. That was an important poo. That was the kind of poo that sets the stage for peace in the Middle East. Alright. Just need to start the stream at this point. Your body is well trained. Yeah, I know. I could just start after I poo, but as I indicated, I kind of wanted to put something unwholesome in the title. Because yesterday when I was streaming my wholesomely titled Cozy Mountain Pizza Making, the stream was inundated by all these half-wits. Just random people showing up, and saying dumbass shit. So I thought, I'm not sure I want to be on the short feed, It basically makes it impossible to engage with actual people here. And I get this endless sequence of people coming in and saying, say meow meow meow, say meow meow meow, give me a shout out. It's like, okay, that's all well and good, half-wits, but I'd rather actually discuss something maybe. You had the best idea for your presidential campaign yesterday? Oh yeah? What's that? Have other people do all the hard work? I like that idea. So I'm gonna smoke a cigarette, but it's pretty chilly out here actually. And then I'll go back in. I'm excited about the prospect of pulling my first bong reps. I got a really good night's sleep last night. As you can tell, this thing under my eye is relatively flat. Well, that is a good idea, Carlos Paiva. So I went to bed like literally like 6 o'clock last night. I took a half a Klonopin and I slept all the way till 5 in the morning. It's a pretty good night's sleep. I'm considering possibly making a quick round trip to LA today. That's a pretty damn good idea, Carlos Paiva. It's up to, I suppose, write the content of what I say. You could even have AI fix my teeth in the AI videos. I love your videos so much. My name is Talal Algebra. Well, thanks, Talal Algebra. I have a typing session this morning at 10 a.m. That's 4.5 hours from now. Hopefully I'll still feel wakeful then. But yeah, I'm considering going to LA for a quick round trip today. Welcome. Welcome, Saudi Arabia, to our live stream. May you, your royal family, and your oil riches continue to prosper. Actually, I'm not a fan of the Saudi royal family, especially that prince who killed that journalist. If I had him at my disposal, I'd beat the living shit out of him and then throw him in jail for a long ass time. And here comes Israel to create conflict here between Saudi Arabia and Israel. Well, Israel, you're on my shit list too, so sorry. Israel, you're on my shit list because of your propaganda campaign. Trying to position your Palestinian apartheid as something other than what it is. Hi, Winston's mom. Good morning. You know what I woke up thinking about this morning? T-Jump. What a fucking scrub that guy is. Oh, you mean stomp Israel? Well, I don't know if we should stomp Israel, but I think Israel needs to get its head out of its ass, that's for sure. You know, no good comes from systematic human rights violations. Well, I know how we'll manage this. We'll just have institutionalized, systematized, human rights violations. That'll work well. No, it won't, Israel. Get your head out of your ass. Stop Palestine? Stop them from doing what? Stop them from being terrorists? Okay, well, how about you not subject their entire population to apartheid? How about that? Then I bet maybe they won't attack you. Or how about Eric's great plan? Sell a two-state solution to Israel on the grounds that once Palestine's an actual nation state, then if they attack you, it comprises an act of war, and you can level the fucking place if you want. But as long as you're not holding the moral high ground, Israel, you're never going to accomplish any just outcomes. And without justice, you're fucked. You just work your way towards being North Korea. Justice is the prerequisite to all good national policy. It's God's country. Well, God doesn't want Israel treating Palestinians as subhuman. Sorry. But if you think they do, then you're just fucking wrong. It's like, didn't they learn anything from World War II? It wasn't supposed to be the behavior they emulate. Oh, we should be more like Hitler. That's what we learned from World War II. Yeah, I'm giving you a fucking lecture. Of course. I'm Eric. I know what's correct. You're obviously somebody who has his head up his ass. So you need a fucking lecture because you're so fucking stupid. How about that, idiot? Yeah, you fucked with the wrong guy. I'm way smarter and way more well informed than you, and you have zero chance. So how do you like that, motherfucker? You don't like that? Well, then go away, piece of shit. Worthless piece of anti-human rights shit. Well, yeah, he didn't come in the wrong moment. He came in a good moment. He came in time to see luxurious gamer get his fucking stupid ass schooled. You're a kid standing up for God. You're an idiot standing up for human rights violations. Okay? I'm not opposed to Israel. It's the only sane westernized country in the region. So they should fucking act like it. Doy. If you don't want me to call you a piece of shit, then don't hold piece of shit positions where you dehumanize an entire portion of the population. It's ridiculous. Obviously, I prefer a westernized Jewish state over a Islamic theocracy. But there are reasons for that. Like, presumably, westernized Jewish state is more civilized, right? Well, they're not acting that way. So that's why they get my foot up their ass. You know? Bro need to brush his teeth. Maybe I do. But maybe you should worry more about how Israel needs to stop violating the human rights of the Palestinians than about my teeth. Have you considered that? I don't have very many teeth left to brush. Now, I will state the truth and you will ignore it. How about that? Let's not pretend that our positions are equal in some regard. You're upholding evil and I'm opposing it. Big fucking difference, okay? Let's not pretend there's some sort of false equivalency there. Esteban Lopez, good morning to you. Now, Luxurious Gamer and Eric both need to pull a couple of arm rips. How did the pizza came out? Came out fantastic. I know it came out fantastic because when given the opportunity, Rachel ate all the rest of it. And I just said, you can have all the rest of it. It's fine. She loves that pizza, I tell you. She's not bullshitting me at all when she tells me she absolutely loves that pizza. She frequently intimates that I should make it. I will tell you. And I'm not shitting you at all. The pizza that I make is the best pizza I've ever had. I shit you not. I discovered this pizza making technique just by accident, kind of. One day I decided to make pizza, and the key trick here is that for pizza sauce, instead of using any kind of pizza sauce, right, you just use tomato paste, and just a thin layer of tomato paste all over the most thinly flattened out pizza dough that you can. I am an old man. I do fuck like a beast. It's true. But Luxurious Gamer 862, of much greater concern to you should be your continued advocacy in favor of human rights violations. Don't you agree? Yeah. We all agree with that. So, yeah, I'm old. Yeah, I'm more of a man than you'll ever be. And true, I fuck like a beast. I'm not sure how any of that's relevant to our current discussion. I'm 52 years old, so, you know, I've got a solid 30 years of kicking your ass left. Some 35, 40 years from now, then you can claim primacy. Until then, you will remain yeah. All right, Eric, which one is FI and which one is FE? When you pick a song to match your mood versus a song altering your mood. I think the first one's FI and the second one's FE, but I don't know for sure. I find that songs alter my mood. I don't really pick them for that purpose, but that if I'm in kind of a dour mood, that putting on upbeat music will change my mood pretty effectively. So I'm just guessing that I'm FE. I think the latter's FE and the first one's FI. I think it's a great question. I don't know if if that generalizes or not, though. So I've never really thought about it that much, but it would be a great question to ask, just to sort of see if it does line up with FI-FE. Winston's mom, I appreciate your highly effective paragraph there of painting my life in a positive fashion. Winston's mom says, that old man is a professional debate coach with a hot young wife who's a sweetheart. He doesn't even have to work, so you should get so old, man. Well, that is true. Do I avoid sad songs so you don't get sad? Yeah. Yeah, I don't listen to a lot of sad songs. I remember but of course, the thing is, songs don't necessarily alter my mood, because when I was on mushrooms the other day, we were talking about sad songs, and I was singing and looking at the lyrics to a variety of Joni Mitchell songs. And instead of them making me sad, It just made me laugh because they were so FI, but it made Rachel sad. Well, that may have been because I was on mushrooms. I'm not sure. Like as long as the sadness of the song is more of a object of analysis than something I'm experiencing directly, then then I don't necessarily have to experience it as sadness. Well, I think I successfully got that halfwit to go away. I entered this morning's live stream with a low tolerance for halfwits because we were inundated by them yesterday. Oh, well, my mistake. You're into Metallica? Good for you. I'm glad you have some kind of music you like to listen to. Listening to music's a great thing to do. I'm not into Metallica myself, but I very much approve of listening to music, playing music, etc. I decided not to go play last night at the open mic. It was raining and I was tired. Howdy, money. New Groove says, lol, yeah, my wife says that I always kill songs because I end up analyzing the lyrics rather than feeling the vibe. Damn, these kids these days listening to boomer music, lol. So, by the way, want to check out something fun? Sure, what is it? Apney Grand Me with Lars Kapupu. I've already accomplished one of my goals here this morning, right at the outset of the stream. I had a pretty good sized poop. Nikki Haley fake fan mail. Okay. I'm not sure how much politics I got on my heart today, but good morning, the Naikas, and thank you for appreciating the duet the other day. I guess Rachel and I must have sung together. We have so many streams, and so often do I end up playing them with Money says, I've been thinking that typology loses elegance when you try to understand it as 16 unique types, but rather a system of energy flow and what is owed. Yeah, I get you. It's very much a person's relationship to the fields, you know? Like if you spend so much time on this field, then you don't spend that much time on this other field, you know? But of course, it's also the case that depending on your field habit also links to your directionalities. So since I'm an NEDOM, my habit of acting upon the external metaphysical field means I have a putting relationship with that field. Whereas an NI DOM has also spends a lot of time on the external metaphysical field, but they have the opposite relationship with it, right? Instead of putting information from it, they're receiving information that's put. Yeah, I got it open in another tab. I don't want to deal with it right now. I mean, I'm not stuck now. I'm absolutely convinced she's an ISFP. I don't know why I got so stuck typing her. I have no idea. She was obviously polar. I don't know how I got confused. Rust, I guess. I do notice that I get rusty. You know, it's not the easiest thing in the world, even though uh no, I mean it wasn't a bad time to type somebody. I wasn't like mentally not ready or tired or anything like that. I just I don't know. I just had an off day, you know? It happens, right? That's how you know I'm a good typologist. Is that sometimes my correct tests and shit are not interpreted correctly by me. So, but what's the reason you know it's a good approach to typology is that probably everybody else watching that said, Eric, what are you doing? She's obviously an ISFP. I could tell that right from the beginning. You can always type ISFPs right from the beginning. What's going on here? I don't know, man. I do not know. I just you know, I think it might be as simple as this. She doesn't look like my idea of what ISFPs look like. And I think I might have just been flummoxed by that simple factor. Which is ridiculous because it's not something I even really pay any attention to. But that's the only thing I can come up with. You silly kitty. How much of my time do I have to spend watching you eat? Let me get you some more food. He needs more food because he eats like a horse. I think it's time for you to get a new plate, mister. Let's get rid of this gross old plate and give you this new plate instead. So anyway, hopefully I'll do a better job this morning. I actually look more tired than I expected to look. I did get a shit ton of sleep last night, but New Groove says it's because you decided to completely ignore your NI. Remember the other day you mentioned you should ignore your NI more, maybe you ignored it too much. Maybe you're right, New Groove. Maybe you're right. No, I immediately understood that as a voice to text thing. I picked up on that right away. Don't worry about that. I can see that kind of voice to text thing any day of the week. I have voice to texted cognitive functions enough times to know well that nightmare. Has anyone disputed Eric's TE test? Not that I know of, because really it's just a TE polar test. Like, as you saw yesterday, that lady, or whatever that was, maybe it was yesterday, I don't know. That lady did great on the TE test. She had no problem with them all. I couldn't conclude she was 1 or 2 because of that. All it tests for sure is TE polar, and it seems to be about 100%. It's like TE polar people strangely can't answer those ordination questions. And regarding the TE polar tests, I never make any claim that I can tell 1, 2, or 7, like I do with TI or NE. All you can tell with TE polar is 7. But you can tell it clear as day. It's weird. So many times TE polar will begin with, well, first you need to know. It's crazy how often that happens. But even if they don't begin with that, they just utterly fail the ordination test. They don't keep track of their steps. They run out of steps with like the task half done. Some ridiculousness like that. They forget that there was supposed to be a certain number of steps. It's really kind of crazy to witness. Or as you saw with that lady yesterday, how TE polar is it? I go, how many invention names can you come up with? And she can come up with a total of 0, right? How I not interpret that as NE? What about a TE test where it's a bit more geared towards engineering, for example? Maybe you can give a whole bunch of random objects and ask the user what can potentially be made of. That's an NE test. Bank robbery was a very good TE test. Oh yeah, bank robbery. What was that like? How do you plan a bank robbery? Z says, may I ask a question? Z, I'll tell you right now, you can always ask a question in any context because, after all, nobody has any obligation to answer your question. Everyone always has the right to ask questions. I've had technical interviews where the problem was unsolvable. They only cared about how you approach the problem. What if you look at the problem immediately and go, it's unsolvable? And here's why. Would that be considered a bad approach? I had just joined and I don't know what's going on. Well, the rest of us have not just joined, but we also don't know what's going on. So we're all in the same boat there. As far as I can tell, nobody knows what's going on. Prefers to be called Walmart bag? I'm okay. I'm pretty sure I can't check that out on my phone right now while I'm streaming. So I'll wait till I get inside. I'm curious now. Walmart bag, huh? You ain't knowing my name. Okay, I will. Thanks so much for caring about me. Remember McKenzie ESTP that figured out that the TI question you screen shared to her was unsolvable? Maybe she did. All right, Walmart bag, we'll call you that then. Dog person, Valerie Sanchez says. Are you accusing me of being a dog person, or are you saying you're a dog person? Breath air. Well, breath air to you too. Christina Applegate, who want to go out here with you. Christina Applegate, who want to go out here with you. Breath air. You know, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but smoke is part of the air too. What the F? Handkerchief. Right. You're right, Luxurious Gamer 862. I do believe he means breathe air. Israel or Palestine? Well, obviously, in regards to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, the Palestinians are in the right. There's no justifying this Israeli apartheid that they perpetrate. But the point is, in general, I support Israel as the most westernized and reasonable state in the region, you know? But obviously you can't support Israel in their ridiculous treatment of the Palestinians after having just seized their land arbitrarily with the help of the Allied powers after World War II. You're going to continue having this forever until Israel just lets them be their own country. It's ridiculous. No, it's true that Israel didn't initiate this current conflict. But remember, you're not talking about two nation states here. If you were talking about two nation states, if Palestine as a nation had attacked Israel, then Israel would be totally within all of its rights to bomb the shit out of Palestine. But because Israel refuses to allow Palestine to be its own country and continues to perpetrate apartheid against the Palestinian people, then Israel can't pretend as though and behave as though they're dealing with a separate nation. which is what they're trying to do, right? They're trying to use military force against another nation that's attacked them. Except Israel themselves won't allow them to be a nation. So that means Israel's the problem here and needs to fix its fucking fucked up policy. And that's it. And the advocacy can be made if you want to advocate in favor in a way that is going to be favored by Israeli hawks. The advocacy should be made then that let them be their own nation state so that when they do attack us, we can use full military force and bomb them back to the fucking Stone Ages, right? How about that? There's your solution. It appeals to everybody. Palestine gets to be their own country, and Palestine has to be their own country. We don't need to use foul language, but sometimes Eric does anyway. And that's his prerogative. So, what I just expressed about the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is the correct position on it. Opinion about the Gojo figurine incident, I don't know anything about it. Why are you coughing so aggressively? What do you want? How do you cough maliciously? No, I'm not going to use dumbass politicized slogans. I'm going to express the correct position on things. That's what I do. Okay, well, the thing is, New Groove, what you're doing is saying before Palestine gets to be a nation state, they must meet Israeli criteria. That's just another way of saying let's keep them our responsibility while concurrently not being responsible for them, not treating them as equal citizens, right? So, in other words, Israeli has the choice to simply cut themselves loose from that population entirely and should do so. And until they do that, they have no moral ground to stand on. And that's all there is to it. Well, what I recently learned, do I think living in a basement is the best idea or possibly the worst idea? Neither. I think it depends entirely on the situation. Mrs. Redneck Ranger, hello. So, anyway, regarding menstrual blood, I recently saw a new kind of tampon or pad that is said to alleviate gush fears. And I did not know that gushing was something that occurred with a vaginal blood splash party. So from this point forward, vaginal blood splash party will include now featuring gushing. What do you know about Poland? Well, I know it's the first country that Nazi Germany invaded at the beginning of World War II. I know that, hey, Jeremiah Fix, we don't need that. What are you doing? No, they don't have to appease the Israelis. They have to merely elect their own hierarchy and structure and form their own governance. But I mean, that's an Israeli criterion, right? We don't need that. Yeah, I am talking about tampons, luxurious gamer, age 62, because my menstrual cycle is about to begin. Every month, I enjoy a period that comes out of my butt. So, That's because I'm a hermaphrodite, half woman, half man. Okay, new group, that's the most ridiculous fucking argument ever. Because the land belonged to Israel hundreds of years ago, that they have claim to it now is fucking insane. In that kind of logic, then the Native Americans should come and form a military state in the middle of America and reclaim all of its territory. Ridiculous. Insane. That logic doesn't generalize at all. I should avoid coming to chat when people talk about this topic because of the ignorance of basic facts. Well, I mean, people are very politicized about it, right? And they're not taking a position they should be taking on it. They're not considering it a policy problem to be solved. They're considering it an ideological thing that you have to be on the right side of, right? As a policy problem to be solved, I've already expressed everything that needs to be expressed about it. Everything else is just pointless ideological muckraking. In the absence of cooperation, what determines rights of occupation? Well, I'm not saying that Israel should stop being on their land for the same reason that I'm not saying that they had the right to reclaim it, because at this point, occupancy is 9/10 of the law. But they're not allowing the Palestinians to take to have responsibility for their own future and such. Israel's like, if you agree to this, if you agree to that, then maybe we'll make a two-state solution. Yeah, 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 yeah. It's incredibly dumb. Exactly. What KE says there is absolutely correct. The land belongs to the Palestinians is not even an argument when it comes to the apartheid point. It's actually due to how the Israeli government treats its West Bank citizens, and it doesn't even treat them as citizens at all. It treats them as subhuman. Well, I don't know. Maybe YouTube decided to encourage me by putting my streams on the shorts feed. Maybe it's because there aren't that many other streams to put on the shorts feed right now. I don't know. This is a new phenomenon for me. I've not really experienced it before, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to now create, unfortunately, one that falls for Jesus has fallen for everything. Really? So that means that Christians are all victims of every Ponzi scheme? Wow. That is important news. I'm glad to have learned that. I'd hate to have been ignorant of this important fact. People, friends, did you know that all Christians, are victims? Of course, we should not give the land back to the natives. It's fucking nuts. You know? I bought this house. Fuck that noise. That's just civilization, dog. Civilization taking over, That's what happens. You can't expect savagery to defeat civilization. And civilization begins with the acknowledging of property rights. So, if you're dealing with people who don't have any kind of codified property rights, and the people who have codified property rights are always going to win. Because such provides incentive for exploitation. Then civilization reaches a more civilized manifestation of itself and becomes increasingly less exploitative. And more productive in universally wealth-producing ways. Now, unfortunately, I don't think that amount of wealth that's actually produced by all the meaningful work that people do for one another in ways that don't require much exploitation of resources, such as what I'm doing right now. The important and valuable work of explaining all this shit to you. I wonder if I should be like Taylor and start encouraging people to give me $1. All right, everybody. All you people, all the new people who are here, they came by the shorts feed. I want all of you to give me $1. I like Taylor's approach. Encourages people to give him $1. Hello, Smile Happy. How are you? You mean Taylor? I am pierogi chomper, especially cabbage, mushroom ones. Great brother, just trying to stay positive. Ah, there. I meant to say that. I don't know if I actually finished saying this. I'm going to, with the magic of action, elicit the following comments from people. Don't smoke. Blessings from Sydney, Australia. Hope you're well and safe. I am well and safe. Here in not so sunny California. Well, K.E., you and I both need to learn that not all refuse on the information highway needs to be cleaned up by us, right? It's an important thing. Am I in a call? Oh, am I in Cali? Yes, I'm in Cali. I'm just very close to Yosemite. You can't really see outside right now, but it is raining a little bit, not very much. And it's still dark out. It's 6:15, but I can see it getting light. Walmart bag has a question. Yeah, Katie makes a good point. Your lungs could get transplanted into somebody. I've already gone over the whole Israel-Palestine issue, okay? I've explained it in full to everybody. I don't want to go over it again. What do I think of Walmart? I think it's a store that I don't shop at. I've gone there before, but I don't regularly shop there. I'm loving the stream, but my grandma just did a backflip, BRB. Okay, well, good for grandma. You know, she's still practicing her, what do you want? Want me to watch you eat more? What a pain in the ass you are. Hello, everyone. Yes. Greetings. Welcome to Watching the Cat Eat, the live stream of your dreams. I've got cat number 2 over here, and she wants to go outside. Okay, Capillo. She's like, but it's pretty cold out there. Do I really want to go outside? No. Okay, well, thanks for the fake out. Appreciate it. Lock that door. I generally lock the doors. Keep the doors locked, you know. For the good of the people. Okay, kitty. Kitty's been outside. She's a little bit wet. Of course, hey, trouble, stop! Alright, bust his ass. Where is he? You better be good. Not chase your sister. Looks all guilty. You should look guilty. Well, his sister tried to jump up and get some water from the water thing, but she didn't make the jump. She didn't make it all the way up there, and so she fell back down to the ground. And this, like, her moment of vulnerability, I guess, made Trouble decide to jump into action and go bother her. He tried to jump down and chase her, but I, like, pushed him as he was jumping down. He's mean to her. I try to police their behavior with each other, but he's kind of a bully, you know? Hello, Chris Boy 0101. How are you? I hope this morning finds you well. Which type would have more difficulties learning something by seeing others doing it? Probably SE Polar. They need the SI experience of doing it themselves. Probably failing multiple ways first. SE8 also maybe have trouble with that. I don't understand those Asian characters. I'm not even sure if it's Chinese or Japanese. But I certainly cannot read what they say. $910 and 0, right? A trade or two with people like the Apple Corporation. I'm not going to say that, Rian. I do believe that Israel is fucked up in their existing policies and needs to change. But I'm not going to say some sort of political slogan. My day is good, yes, because I'm not interested in unilaterally taking one side of the thing. I'm interested in articulating specifically what is fucked up about what Israel's doing and what the alternative is and why they should embrace that alternative rather than pretending to have any kind of moral high ground. While at the same time acknowledging that Israel is the ally of the U.S. and, you know, that it's the preferable alternative to the other countries in the region. Nevertheless, you cannot support apartheid and expect it to go well. Just look at South Africa. It didn't go well for them either. I mean, it went well for them for a long time, but then it didn't. Well, I mean, they're the most westernized, non crazy country in the region. So, okay, well, say what it is then, Walmart bag. Not that I'm likely to be motivated by a quote, huge big dare. Taking others' lands and expecting them to be okay with it is retard logic. That's true. Hero makes a good point. They're the craziest by your standards? Well, I mean, at least they're not um, they're not an Islamic theocracy. I have $98,000 in your bank account. Good for you. They're not an Islamic theocracy. Well, look, KE, I'm not here to defend Israel, okay? That's not my job. We can put together, I'm sure, a long list of problems with Israel. But they aren't Iran. Well, primarily because let's look at how Islam expresses in the modern world. Even in a purportedly moderate Muslim state like Israel, you had mass demonstrations to deport somebody for free expression so that they could be executed for insulting the prophet. We're talking about 80% of the country of Egypt believing this shit, right? That people should be executed for insulting somebody. That fundamental aggression towards free expression is pre-enlightenment thinking that needs to be abolished, right? The way that Islam treats women, Islam's apartheid against women is also unacceptable, KE, and you need to come to terms with that. Sorry. Oh, I just gave you a perfect example of how it's expressed in the modern world. Look at Egypt, right? So, yeah, is Islam apartheid against women? Does it express thusly in most of the expressions of it? Yes. Should we deplore it accordingly and reject its pre-enlightenment frame? Absolutely. If you don't agree with that, you're just being one of those pro-Israeli people who's just mindlessly supporting whatever you side you're on without thinking about it at all. And if you're that emotionally attached to your religion, fine, but you know, don't pretend like it's anything other than that. You know, like in Saudi Arabia, single men are not allowed to mix with women in a restaurant. They've got separate sections. How insane is that? Women just got the right to drive in Saudi Arabia within the last like 20 years. How insane is that? And this is what you're supporting, KE? Why don't you put yourself in a burqa and go fucking live in, I don't know, the UAE? How about that? If you're such a fond advocate of Islam, why don't you put yourself in a fucking burqa and send yourself to ISIS to be a nice, obedient Islamic bride? KE? Why don't you put your money where your mouth is? Why don't you put your body and your soul where your mouth is? And put on a fucking burqa and go be a slave to some fucking asswipe in Afghanistan. Where your daughters will be prohibited from getting an education. Why don't you go do that? If you're such a fond fan of Islam. I'm an equal opportunity bullshit caller, KE. I am not biased. I am calling it like it is. Deal with it. Bam. Bam slam. Thank you, ma'am. I'm ma'am in this instance, and you're welcome, KE. You're welcome for the correction. That's right, everybody. Eric calls it like it is. This is a genuine no bullshit zone. Unlike whoever had that expression before, it was just spewing nonstop bullshit. Until Islam embraces free expression and women's rights, it will remain an example of a malignant form of pre-enlightenment thinking. And that, my friends, is one to grow on, motherfuckers. Bam, bam, bam. Take that, wrongness. You just got your ass whipped. That's what I do. I take wrongness and I put my foot up its ass. I watch it squirm. Probably I get a bunch of like thumbs downs, and then all of a sudden YouTube will stop promoting my live streams. And I'll be back to 14 people and it'll be fine. Well, you know, all I can do is tell the truth. I can't deal with how other people react to it. Because I tell the truth all night. Meow, 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 meow. You'll note how my truths are both correct, don't conflict, and it's possible to correctly, in fact, it's only possible to correctly understand things as I just did. General condemnation of Islam is appropriate. Support of Palestinians in this instance is required. So that's all there is to it. And that's one for everyone to grow on. We live, we love, we lie. I don't lie. Every once in a while, maybe, but very infrequently. I find it's not good for business. It's almost never a good idea. Holla baja blaja blaja. What to say about that? Well, let's see if my cartoons are out yet. Feels like it's about time to wrap up this live stream. This is an amphetamine-free live stream. So, accordingly, there are no cartoons out yet that I want to watch. There's only one that comes out on. Okay, there are two that come out on Wednesday that I want to watch. Oh, one is coming out right now at 6:30. Dr. Elise, the Royal Lady with the Lamp. That's coming out right now. And then at 7, Classroom of the Elite Season 3 is coming out. Am I running away? No, I don't think I'm running away. I'm sure there are plenty of good things about plenty of places that are Islamic, but, you know. Is wham bam thank you ma'am regional in the U.S. or is it an expression used across the country? I think it's nationwide because I think it's from a song. Yeah, it is from a song. See, Winston's mom proved me right. Am I a veterinarian? In my spare time. In my spare time, I go into the woods around here and cure deers and stuff of diseases. Am I running away? I'm not running away. There's some things you can only understand once you see them with your own eyes. Well, that's very SI frame of reference, KE. I don't have to justify anything to myself. I've never acted against my conscience. Or when I did, I am the first critic of myself. Well, that's fine. I embrace your individual first paradigm that we shouldn't evaluate individual people according to their group, and that includes Islamic. But if we are going to talk about Islam as a ideological force in the world, we'd be remiss to ignore its long-standing pattern of human rights abuses against women and its rejection of secular freedom of speech over what it deems sacred. You know, we'd be remiss to not include in our discussion those very real problems, right? Poo emojis don't bother me at all. Poo emojis are fine. Kissy wissy. Well, Fascinating. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to go and watch cartoons now, which is much more pleasant than talking about Israel and Palestine because it's like it's not that complicated. I've said everything that needs to be said about it, but unavoidably, people want to get a clear cut side on the matter from me, you know. Well, my side is the correct position on everything. Why not do a watch party? We could do an anime watch party, but I mean, I couldn't show you the anime without without getting in copyright trouble. So I think I'm gonna call it a wrap instead. No, I'm not running from the hills. I've already explained everything that needs to be explained about the subject. Everybody should just go, oh, okay, now we have learned the correct position on it. That should be the end of the discussion. All right, anyway, goodbye, everybody, and I'll see you next time on Talking with Famous People.